Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the ultimate fix your team draft. Today is the day of the draft, so let's go ahead and get right in and let's have a little fun. Let's take a look. So with the Bears' first pick, you know they're going Caleb Williams. He's far and away the best quarterback in this draft. He's such an elite player. His throw on the run is amazing. His pocket movement is amazing. Don't need to spend too much time on that. On the next pick, Washington. We know we heard a lot of talk about the issues with Jayden Daniels potentially trying to get to the Raiders, but we know that Washington, they're gonna take Jayden Daniels anyways. Jayden Daniels did say earlier he's gonna be happy with whoever drafts him, so I think that's enough for them to say, fine, let's go ahead and take him. So Jayden Daniels at number 2. With the third pick, this one could be an interesting one. In this situation, I'm gonna have New England trade back. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select New England. And so from what I'm hearing, the Giants and the Vikings are both trying to trade up to that third spot to get Drake May. I'm not a huge fan of Drake May, but when there's smoke, there's fire. And if those two teams are fighting over it, I think Minnesota wins because they have the 2 first-round picks this year. And then I say that they also offer a first round for next year, and I think that's enough to secure the package. So now with the Vikings with the 3rd pick in the draft, from what I'm hearing, they're selecting Drake May. Like I said, that's not what I would do, but this is what I'm hearing. So Drake May at pick 3. Now we're to the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been trying to prepare their fans for the selection of Marvin Harrison Jr., so I think that's what they're doing. Once again, there's smoke, there's fire. Now with the 5th pick, this is an interesting one. This is a trade back spot where a team who is interested in a quarterback could definitely trade back. And that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Giants trading up 1 spot with the Chargers to secure that quarterback. They already had that first quarterback come off the board. They don't want to be stuck in a spot where they're stuck with that wide-eyed quarterback. They're terrified. They seen that shit and they're like, nope, he's got to go. We need a new quarterback right now. That dude's on something. He's got that John Jones stash or something. So I say they trade their current first pick, and I say they give up I'm gonna say a 2nd round pick and a 6th round pick. I was just gonna say a 3rd, but you know how these teams they're able to really pull a lot of draft picks out of even just moving up 1 spot, especially if they know the team's trying to get a quarterback. They can really pull them in for that. So I'm gonna say this is the trade right here. Let's go ahead and send it through. New York Giants with the 5th pick in the draft are going JJ McCarthy. A player that I honestly think is better than Drake May. He is a great quarterback. His pocket awareness is amazing. You can easily see him reading each target. He's able to read both sides of the field. He doesn't just eye one receiver. He can run. He can throw on the run. This guy is a really good quarterback. I was definitely surprised. And I think the Giants are getting a quarterback that they can definitely start day 1. Now the Chargers strategically trading back, getting more picks, but staying right in front of the Titans to be able to select their guy, which is going to be offensive tackle Joe Alt from Notre Dame. This dude, you've probably heard it already, is a freak of nature. He's huge, 6'9". He's a great pass blocker. He's good in the run game. He's not a mauler, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if this pick is J.C. Latham. However, he is a great player, and I could definitely see them going Joe Alt here, especially I've heard that Joe Alt is their favorite out of the 2. So moving here, as we take a look, I think this is another prime trade back spot. They didn't get their man Joe Alt, so why not secure some picks? So I think that the Tennessee Titans are going to trade with Denver. I think Denver has also had a lot of talk saying that they're interested in a quarterback, and they don't have a lot of draft capital here, but I think they can give up a 1st and a 2nd for next year, and I think that would be enough to be able to move up and get their quarterback. which who I'm hearing is Bo Nix. So Denver trades up quite a few picks and able to get Bo Nix. All they had to give up was a second for next year. I think that's a steal. So moving on to Atlanta at 8. I think this is the spot where they're like, all right, we're going to take best player available on the defense, which I think they're going to say is Dallas Turner, but I will not be surprised if it's Laiatu Latu. I think he is the better edge rusher right now. I think he will be the most productive right now, but Dallas Turner has the highest upside with his athleticism. So I think that's where they're going to go. So now we are on the Chicago Bears. I think this is also another prime trade back spot because at 9, there's lots of receivers available on the board, and the Bears only have 4 draft picks. So I think although Malik Nabers will be a dog right here, we've seen Chicago trade back even with great players on the board because there's somebody that they personally like, and I think that's what they do again. So I say the Bears trade back. And I'm going to say they trade back with the Indianapolis Colts, who are going to give them a first and a third and a 6th and a 7th for next year. So the Colts trade up from pick 15 down to 9 so they can select wide receiver Malik Nabers. This guy is, in my opinion, the number 1 receiver in the draft class. He is such an explosive weapon. He is the kind of player who can catch a ball and break it for 80 yards at any time. His run after the catch is beyond elite, and that's not even taking into consideration his elite route running and his ability to just jump up and high point the ball at any moment. He's such a great receiver. So I say Indianapolis goes Malik Nabers after trading up. New York Jets on the clock. So there's a couple things they can do. They can go Rome. They can go Brock Bowers. They can go tackle. There's many things they can do. I think this is such an interesting position to be in because I think they were going in like, hey, let's take a tackle. But with the players that are available, it's a tough one. It definitely makes it a tough call. So let's see here. I think New York Jets take Brock Bowers. I think he's such a great player. I think they're really going all in on this season, really hoping that their tackles just stay healthy, and then giving the Jets another prime target with Rome Odunze, really just shoring up that team, being able to honestly just really, really add weapons for Aaron Rodgers here. And that's going to be an explosive, dangerous team next year. All right, and then moving on to the next one, New England Patriots, after trading back, this is their first time on the clock. I think they're happy. They go Rome Odunze, they select a receiver, and they move on. I think this is great. They're able to start building their team and then really start building that foundation before actually drafting a quarterback, probably next year. I think that trading back, if they wanted a quarterback, they would have took it at 3. Trading back allows them to be able to get more draft picks, really start working on their team because they have so many holes on this team. And I think this is a great selection to be able to trade back, get more draft capital, and just start building the team more. I think Jacoby Brissett is a good enough quarterback to get them through. You get him a weapon and you start building that team, and I think that's what you do. Now, Tennessee Titans on the clock. I think this is where they go offensive tackle, J.C. Latham. I think he has the potential to be the best tackle in this class. He's such a mauler. He's great in the run game, good in the pass game. I really think that he is a straight dog. I think they trade back, get more draft capital, and still select the guy they probably would have taken at 7. Now with the Las Vegas Raiders at pick 13, what better pick to go with Michael Penix Jr.? I know they already got the boy, the mustache Gardner Minshew, the Van Man, and guess what? He is the perfect player to be the backup to a quarterback that gets drafted who has had some injury problems. So if it does happen, you still got a baller in Gardner Minshew. However, if he's able to stay healthy, he can be a great mentor for Michael Penix Jr. I think this is an excellent selection here. Being able to hold it. I think that it's possible the Patriots could have selected him. But I think if you're trading back, you're already saying that there's not any quarterbacks that you're 100% sold on. So I think they go with the weapon here after trading back. Now we are on the New Orleans Saints. This is also an interesting one. Lots of great players on the board, but I think they're going to go Olu Fashanu. They need O-line help so bad. Olu is a great pass blocker, and it really gives them some assurance on the offensive line. Everybody, time and time again, has been selecting O-line to the Saints, and I mean, like I said, when there's smoke, there's fire. Don't try to overthink it. Now the Bears are back on the clock here at pick 15, and I really think that they're going to go defensive tackle Byron Murphy. He's the best defensive tackle in this draft. He's able to really create so much pressure at the middle on that defensive line. I think this is where they go, and I've heard a lot of talk about it as well, that they really, really like Byron Murphy. So they're able to trade back and still get their player that they want. I think it works out perfectly for them. Now on to the Seattle Seahawks. Once again, I think this is a great position for a team who needs offensive line to go offensive line, and you're going Troy Fautanu. All right, we're moving along quickly. We got great pace here. Now we're on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know that they're looking at cornerback. They really need some help in that room, especially with all the receivers. The Colts getting Malik Neighbors. There's a ton of weapons in the AFC South now, and they need corner help pretty bad. They're going to go with the best corner in this draft, hands down, Quinyon Mitchell. And once again, it's just too easy. We're just moving along here. Teams are just selecting best player available. It's all making sense. And I think this is great. I think all the teams so far are feeling really good about this. Now we're on to the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a team that if Brock Bowers was still available, I think they would select him. But they really do need some more offensive line help. So I think they go Amarius Mims. He's a huge tackle who's able to secure the edge. They really like those big offensive linemen. And while he's only played 8 games in the league, he has shown so much talent in those 8 games. And he's huge. This dude is a monster. His thighs are like the size of 2 offensive linemen's thighs. He's just such a big human. He's mobile. He's able to secure the edge. I think it's a great pick. Now for the Rams. They just lost Aaron Donald. So I think a great selection for them would be able to go Laiatu Latu. Arguably the best edge threat in the draft. Being able to get him at pick 19, I think is a steal. Now, moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is a prime spot. We heard that Philadelphia is trying to trade up to select somebody. We don't know who, obviously, but I think they're trying to jump Miami, or even trying to get to where Pittsburgh is, because they want to select Cooper DeJean. This is a guy who I think is a safety. He can play in the nickel. He's so versatile. I typically had him going a little bit later in the draft because I don't think he's a corner. I think he's more of that safety, nickel, corner kind of player. But what I've been hearing is teams are really in love with his return ability and his versatility on defense to be able to play those different positions. So that on its own, with the new return rules and being able to get a player who's really dangerous there, I've heard a lot of teams are really liking Cooper DeJean. So I say, wow, I meant to trade Cooper DeJean to the Eagles, but as I was talking, I completely forgot. So just pretend I traded with the Eagles, and the Eagles got Cooper DeJean here at pick 20. That was a noob move on my part. I was just talking and then selected him as I was talking. But the Eagles trade, let's say, a 3rd round pick just to move. Even it could have been a 4th round pick, but a 3rd or 4th round pick to move up 2 slots to select Cooper DeJean. Steelers are sitting here pretty at pick 22. Now we're moving on to the Miami Dolphins here. Miami Dolphins are one that can go in multiple different directions, but I think they have a lot of need on the offensive line. I think they go Talisi Fuaga. He's a player who honestly can play he can play guard, he can play tackle, very versatile, and I think they are able to take him and place him wherever they feel their biggest need is, and then move on, because they really need some help with all the players who are leaving them, because they just have so much money invested in their team that they just can't pay everybody. Now we're here. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pretend that says Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers now on the clock, they have a couple different things they can do. They can go, corner, edge, but I think they're going to go Brian Thomas Jr., really give some weapons to their quarterback. I think he's a great player. I think he could definitely go a lot higher, but with the way the draft's falling, I think this is definitely a direction it could go. Now, the New England Patriots back on the clock thanks to that trade back, and this gives us a lot of versatility of what they can do. And they can go corner, they can go edge, they can go tackle. Really, they have so many different directions they can go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Jared Verse, really start working on that line, get some edge threats to really help with their defense even more. Now moving on to the next one. Dallas Cowboys. I think they're going Graham Barton. I really think that they need a lot of help on that offensive line with players moving. Graham Barton is listed at tackle. On here, they have him selected as interior all-line. That's what I think he is. I think they're going to select Graham Barton here. I think that's a surefire pick. Now, pick 25, Green Bay Packers. This is a pick where I think they take a shot on Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins, I think, is an elite player in this draft. They could go Terrion Arnold as well, but I think they go Nate Wiggins here. Now we're moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a team that can go multiple different directions as well, but I think they go Chop Robinson. They really need edge threats. Chop Robinson is a guy that needs to develop more on his pass rush moves, but he has a ton of athleticism. But you've seen them taking players like Shaq Barrett in the past too, who were that type of player. So I think they take that shot again on Chop Robinson from Penn State. Now we're on to the Arizona Cardinals. They selected Marvin Harrison Jr. in the first round. They really need to now address that defense. They have no corners at all. I think Terrion Arnold is a good pick here to really start working on that. I think he's more of a slot corner, but I think at the end of the first is definitely a good range for him. Now for the Buffalo Bills. This is a player where I think hands down they're going wide receiver, and I think they're going A.D. Mitchell from Texas. Great route runner. He has great hands. He's super fast. He's like 6'3" and ran a 4.33. This dude is elite. He's one of my favorite receivers entering the draft. He does take some plays off, but hopefully the Bills can get that coached out of him, and then he's going to be a top player in this league. All right, moving on to the next one. Detroit Lions. A pick here. I think they're going to go Darius Robinson. He's so versatile. He can play edge. He can play defensive tackle. I like him more as a 3-technique defensive tackle. So that's where I think they put him. But he's so versatile. I think he's a great player, and he's really going to help this team take the next step, potentially even helping them go to the Super Bowl. Baltimore Ravens. I think this is a prime position for Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton is a steal at this spot. He is such an elite pass blocker. He's big. He's athletic. Such a great player. You know how the Ravens are. They love big dudes. They love guys who can just ball in the trenches. So I think they go Tyler Guyton. Now San Francisco, one pick ahead of Kansas City. I think they take that into consideration. They got some wide receiver things with their receiver with Brandon Ayuk, suggesting he might want to get traded. So I think they can go wide receiver here, Xavier Worthy, because they don't want to play him if they pass up on Xavier Worthy and then him fall to the Chiefs and then them take him. He is a super fast receiver, great route running. He could fill in as they don't want that Tyreek option to be in KC, especially with Rice going 120, doing all that. They need receivers so bad, and Xavier Worthy is totally a pick the Chiefs could pick. However, we know Kyle Shanahan loves fast. He loves players who are just fast. They work so well in his offense. I think this is a great pick to be able to, add an explosive weapon to your team and also keep him from going to a team that you might have to play in the Super Bowl again next year. Now, Chiefs, they need a receiver so bad. And I think Ladd McConkey is the next best receiver on the board here. I think Ladd McConkey is honestly better than Xavier Worthy, but with how these two teams play, I think Xavier Worthy works better for their system. However, I think Ladd McConkey is someone that, if you need a receiver, he's amazing. One of the best route runners in this class, hands down, in my opinion. He's super fast. He does not drop passes. He is just a little bit small in terms of weight, but that's something that can get fixed. I think he's a great player, and I think that they don't think twice and they take him right now. And that's the draft, guys. Thank you guys so much if you guys made it this far. Please tell me what you think. Let's get rid of all these ads. Let's go ahead and just do a quick review of our picks here. So we had the trade back, New England getting 2 first-round picks for the pick number 3. They actually got a third one, but they didn't show it on here. They got 3 first-round picks for this one. So these are all the trade backs here. So I had a total of, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. Honestly, I had more trades than that, but they're only showing 4 trades. I had the Steelers also trade back. Oh yeah, that's right, but I forgot to do it. So I had 5 total trades. And then here we go. Bears, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May to the Vikings, Marvin Harrison, JJ. All great picks. I love this pick here. I think that's amazing. That'll make me so happy. I don't think you can go wrong here. I think everybody leaves this draft happy and a much better team. I think this is the Eagles. Remember, that's the Eagles. And this is a great step in, this is the Steelers, in the right direction for all of these teams. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your guys' mock drafts down below. Let's go ahead, and I'm open for discussion. I want to see everybody's. This is the day of the draft. This is where we have our fun. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. Please like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 250 subscribers. Please help me so much, and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one.